Okay, hello again folks, how are you all doing? I'm King Blacktooth. So, welcome to the location test mod for Juri. So, let's show off the delayed wake up again. So, it's the same as before. If you choose, you can press heavy punch and stay on the ground for 19 extra frames at the moment. Like so. Okay, that's pretty good. Next thing is her red focus attack. Hers looks like so. Okay, so she gets a gleam in her eye and a lot more purple on her feet. And it's done by doing medium punch, medium kick and heavy kick. So the same rules apply. Level 1 does not crumple, maximum level does crumple. It costs 2 meter bars to use and can absorb 12 hits. You can FADC into it for all of your super bar. Like so. And it absorbs 0 hits, but it can crumple on level 1. But you need to get into a harder or longer, heavier hitting normal for it to work. Like so. So medium punch doesn't work, it's not fast enough. It's to sort of prevent jab, FADC, crumple. I thought having harder hitting ones, basically the animation is the same speed. So I may go back and change all this if it turns out. I need to watch some matches and see how fast it attacks, because previously it was instantly as soon as you released it for an FADC red focus. So Juri changes. First off, we have close standing light punch. It's got a lower hitbox downwards, expanded. So I've lowered it by 0.13 and increased the height to compensate. So hopefully hits crouching opponents now. I don't know if that was the aim of it. I did do it quite a bit. 0.13 is reasonable. It hits Vega, but if you attack twice like that, you see it missed because she's reeling and her sort of animation makes her hitbox lower. So it's on the verge. Normally it's, if you slow it down you can hit it, but if you just like press it as fast as possible you could miss. So be careful. That's probably only in extreme cases as well. So the next thing is close standing medium punch. So that would be that. Is startup during is Ultra 1 is the same as normal version. So now this I haven't actually changed because my program that I use to edit, it can be a bit deceptive during startup, acting, recovery, displaying the wrong values, so you have to mess around with it. And it says the Ultra 1 version and the normal version have the same startup. So I didn't change it. I'll wait for clarification on what the startup is of the normal one and what the startup is of the Ultra one, so I know how many to take away. But until then I haven't changed that one. The same thing applies to close standing medium kick, but I did change this one. So this has now been reduced in the Ultra variation, so it should come out the same as normal. Okay, so that should be exactly the same as the normal variation. The next thing is fast standing medium punch, so that one is now cancelable, special cancelable and FADC cancelable. So you can go into red focus, you can go into normal focus, and you can go into special moves, like so. So that should add some combo ability because it's quite a far reaching thing, I think. And fast standing light kick, its startup frames are now 4 frames instead of 5, so startups in 4 frames. That's pretty nice reach for 4 frames. It's pretty good. That might improve some things. Oh, we've got a lot to get through. So fast standing heavy kick, so that one is airborne from frame 3 now instead of frame 6, so it's airborne a little bit faster. And Ultra 1 version has the same hitbox as normal. Okay, so I think it had a bigger hitbox vertically, but now it's been reduced back to normal in its Ultra 1 form. Crouching medium kick startup is now 5 frames from 6, so you got -1 off of the startup, which is good. So it's 5 frames long. You can now go into, oh actually its recovery is also -1, so it's got 1 less recovery as well as 1 less startup. So apparently now you can do crouching light kick, crouching light kick, crouching medium kick, and it'll take me a second to do, but let's just plink this thing. There we go. And that's all I'm going to show because I don't want to be here for hours, but that is now possible, so you know, you guys can figure out if that's any good. Forward jump heavy punch. I imagine back one as well. is no longer knockdown. So if they're standing, it's not a knockdown anymore. Okay, it just does the damage, which, let's stick it on. It does 90 damage. And the heavy hit animation now, so it's a long animation, so you get plenty of time to combo into it, and it's still quite ambiguous, so I think that could actually be a buff, really, if you think about it. I don't know if there's any setups of it. And the jump is still a knockdown, of course, because most moves are, obviously. Right, parries now cause recoverable HP. Now I'm not sure if this is actually in. In one source it said it was true, in the other source it just didn't mention it, so I'm not sure. The problem is, so many conflicting reports with Juri, it was very difficult to sort of try and figure out what's right and what's wrong. I'm surprised by how many sources seem inconsistent, so it now recovers recoverable HP, which is actually quite a big nerf. I thought that was her big thing, was that, you know, her parry is no health and she escapes. Goken's is recoverable and does damage. And Dudley's is he takes the damage instantly as loss of health, but he deals that damage back to you plus more, and you can actually combo out of his EX version into your Ultra. So, you know, here and goes, but now she recoverable health. I got the feeling that's going to be reversed, because I think, I don't know, in one way, at the end of a round, she catches you out of that, she can just stay there, but I got a feeling that'll be reversed, but we'll see. EX Pinwheel, invincibility +1, so that's got extra invincibility, and an extra frame on block, so now it's -15 on block rather than -14, so still quite punishable. Even more so, but by 1 frame, but it's got 1 plus more invincibility, which is good. Ultra 2 hitbox expanded forward. I expanded it by 0.5, so it should help a lot with combo ability. The next thing is, now these ones are not actually on the sources, but I went on to the Juri forums and someone said that this was on the list at Capcom Cup. Some guy with a bit a clipboard with these changes on. So mid EX. Now I forget which one the mid one is. Let's see. Okay, that one now hits crouching opponents. And all I did for this was remove the flag that says cannot hit crouching opponents. So now it can, and it does the same thing as the low one. It knocks them over, you know, and it seems to hit them quite easily. The next thing is the high EX one. So I think it's that one. Okay, that does plus 10 damage on each hit, so 60-60 instead of 50-50 for 120 damage each, or each fireball is 120 damage now. And lastly, the last nerf you got, and the last buff, the last thing is you cannot do regular dive kicks like that off a back jump. Okay, now this is also still up in the air. I mean, it was only from that guy's sources, he didn't have any other sources rather than apparently he saw them, but I trusted him for a bit. So you can no longer do back ones. The EX ones are still fine, but no back ones off a back jump. Okay, you can do neutral and you can do forward jump. Okay, so there are all the changes for Juri. So quite a few changes there, a lot of things mixed up. So we'll see how she is. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more. I appreciate the support. So when you want to install my mod, you need to download the mod in the download link in the video and then extract the file. You'll have your character name changes, so a nice readme to let you know what I've changed and how I changed it, and installation instructions if you don't want to listen to me. And you'll have a character name.bac and character name.bcm. So the next thing you need to do is find your Capcom directory, because your Super Street Fighter 4 files will be in there. Mine's in the C drive in program files, but if you bought it on Steam, it'll probably be in your Steam directory somewhere. So you go in to Super Street Fighter 4. Now you've got some patch 1.07 and patch 1.06. You need to find the one with your most up-to-date character. For example, if we were doing Sagat, his most up-to-date one would be in 1.07, as well as Ryu, Juri, Dudley, DJ and Cody. But most characters are in 1.06. The character I'm doing is in there, and most characters are. I'll mention it if it's in 1.07. So you go in, and then you go into Battle, Regulation, Latest AE, and then you find the character we're doing. I'm doing Bison, which has got the name Vega at the moment. And so you'll have the character name.bac, character name.bcm, and all you need to do is, I recommend making a backup and copying those files in and rename them original, just so you got them as backup. And then you just copy over my ones into there, and that'll allow you to play as my modded version in arcade mode, training mode, and versus mode. So you can have some fun. If you've got local friends to play with, you could update 2 characters that I do and then fight against each other with the new changes. That would be quite interesting. Anyway, so thanks for watching, and I hope that has helped.